Welcome to Gail's Kitchen. Today we're making Blackberry Cobbler. I adore fruit pies, and this Blackberry Skillet Cobbler is the best of both worlds. It's a fruit pie with extra crust on the top in the form of a biscuit dough. I have been given some freshly picked blackberries from a good friend of mine. I'm going to give a shout out to Winnie from Sheer Country Hairdressing. She's actually my hairdresser. So Winnie picked these blackberries the other night and texted me that she had some for me. I just weighed them. It's about 2 pounds, which is about 6 cups of blackberries. And I'm going to pour off the liquid and let that drain for a minute. Make sure you reserve that if you're using frozen berries, or if your berries were picked a couple days ago and they've been sitting there losing some of their liquid. To make our cobbler, we're going to use a 10-inch cast iron skillet. We're going to add our berries to the skillet. I love blackberries. I adore them. Many people may not know the difference between a blackberry and a black raspberry. When you pick the black raspberry, it's hollow inside, and the blackberry has like a white or green core in there. These are blackberries. We're adding 1 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. So 1 cup may sound like a lot of sugar, but blackberries tend to be tart, and so we usually add a little more sugar to a blackberry cobbler than we would another fruit cobbler. We're going to add 4 ounces or a 1/2 cup of orange juice. These flavors go so well together. Go ahead and pour that reserve liquid in there. And for flavorings, we're adding a tablespoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Let's give this a good stir. Look at that. Now we're going to transfer this to the stovetop, and we're going to put it on medium-high heat and cook this for about 10 minutes. So we're going to let this sit here on medium to medium-high heat for 10 minutes, and we'll stir it occasionally. Our mixture's been boiling now for about 9 minutes. I'm going to mix 1/4 cup of cornstarch, or 4 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of cold water. Well, the cornstarch is going to thicken up our blackberry mixture. It's always best to mix your cornstarch with cold water before you use it. Then you don't have white clumps. Our thickener is really smelling good and thickening up nicely. So this is about 1.5 minutes after we've added the cornstarch. We'll give it another 1.5 minutes. So yummy. It's so beautiful. Now let's make our cobbler dough. In a medium bowl, whisk together 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to cut in 6 tablespoons of butter. This is essentially a biscuit dough, so you want your butter cold. Go ahead and just cube it and use your pastry blender to start cutting that butter in. Don't have a pastry cutter, you can use 2 knives or 2 forks to do this step. And you want to cut this in until we get pea-sized pieces. So those pieces are a little too big for me right there. You can mash them between your fingers if you want. I'm just grabbing up the big pieces and mashing them between my fingers. So that looks pretty good. We're going to use a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. Heavy cream is fine, heavy whipping cream is fine. To toss this till this dough comes together. The wonderful thing about making a cobbler is we don't have to pour this out and knead it. We don't have to shape it any particular way. We just want our dough to come together, so it's a little easier than a pie crust. So now you can do a couple of things here. You can just tear pinches off and kind of make them round like this. Just come in here. Or you can use 2 spoons and come in here and get a dollop and push that onto the top. Either way. And when this bakes, it yields a very cobbled look on the top, and hence the name cobbler. Some people actually call this a drop biscuit cobbler. So it doesn't matter how it looks. Place this in here however you like it. And we have a couple of pieces left. I'll sprinkle them on the outside edge. One last step. Sprinkle some sugar over the entire cobbler. Maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons. Just to make our biscuit a little sweeter. And our delightful cobbler is going into a 375-degree oven for 30 minutes or until it's nice and bubbly. It's bubbling, it's bubbling. Look at that, look at that. It's bubbling, it's bubbling. Now that's a cobbler. It has that cobbled appearance from dropping the biscuit dough on the top. Our biscuits aren't going to brown completely on the top because we sprinkled them with some white sugar. You have no idea how much I appreciate those blackberries. So let's give this cobbler a try. It thickened up beautifully. The brown sugar added just the right amount of sweetness to this tart fruit. This is hands down the best blackberry cobbler I've ever made. Perfect ratio of biscuit to fruit. The fruit set up just beautifully.